Hey everybody, it's Miriam here, Paperwheelz Studio. How's everybody doing today? Wonderful, I hope. It's a lovely, peaceful weekend that we have upon us. Don't know if we're going to get rain here or not, but I guess only time will tell, huh? I was just picking up a few things here on my desk, and I am back in my craft room today. I'm working on that 100-day challenge. And as of today, I did check. This is day number, are we ready? 92. We have 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. 9 more of these, folks. 9. I just counted them all out for you. So it's exciting to get the end of the 100-day project. And I'm rolling in on it now. So today, I just wanted to play around with something I've had in my stash for a while. I created a journal for my niece about a year ago, and I had this address book / date book, I think it was. And these are the pages from that. It was, I don't even, if you want to know the truth, I don't even know what year it was from or where we picked this up at. A friend of mine and I went to garage sales one year and picked up all kinds of goodies, and this might just be one of those. So we've got a lot of, if you flip through this, there are a lot of images this size. The pages for this date book, this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, so that gives you, some idea. You could actually, if you could, this one was sewn together, and when we took the book apart, it's attached. So this could actually become a page in a journal, and you could just cut it down on the end if you needed to, which would be great. I have another one here that I can simply use as a signature in a journal. So I'm going to keep these 2 pages intact for signatures. I put one in my current journal. Let me show you that. I believe I worked on this in my videos and everything's coming down crashing upon me, but that's how it works here because I keep everything so close so I can get to it, and then everything crashes down. All right, let's go here. Here is the one I put into this journal. I didn't cut any off because what I did was fold it over and made a tuck. Then I added an extra piece of paper, so my tuck on that paper became a flip out. So that is a page in the journal there. Where's the other side of it? So you can see, well, let's just look at this. Can't be too, there it is. This one, I just folded over the same way. And oh no, okay. And then I just have a side tuck here with all these lovely words, emeralds, and jewels down the side because it was like an anniversary sheet, and I just thought that was cool to leave those exposed. So that's one way you could use these kind of pages. You can make them fit into your journal, whatever the size. I was going to measure these for you. Let's see, give you in case you're wanting to know. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. By, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5.5 by 7, which not a bad size for if you're going to use it into a journal. I'm going to save those as signatures, as I said. So I have this entire stack of pages here, and I need to figure out how I can best use these. So I'm just going to create some things with the pages that I have. So let's flip through and get a few. That would actually look kind of neat, maybe as, and these are popping out as signatures. If I wanted to, I could cut every one of these out as a signature. So I'm going to pop this one out. Yes, we're going to create with it, but I'm still going to pop it out. I'm not sure what year this was. I'm not finding the year in it. So I guess I could go back and see how long ago that January 8th fell on a, whatever day of the week that is. I don't even think this was dated to be used now that I look at it, because there are no weekdays of the week, just dates. So it's one that just You could use it at any time. And there was something written on a couple of the pages, but I don't know what it was. Oops, I must have not cut that all the way, and this one's starting to rip, so let's try that again. I'm just slipping my scissors in under these threads here. If you can, they're very hard to see on camera, I know, but then your signature just lifts right up out there. And this, we're going to go ahead and take this page because it's not attached. So we'll take those two and see what we could do. Let's flip, maybe another one or two here. We got the ones with the months if you want to, we're making a themed journal. There's also some pretty quotes now and then. So, very beautiful images. That's just all florals, so I definitely want to use something that is nothing but all floral. And would you believe? And probably pop this one out. I'm not going to worry too much about it though if it tears, because I'm going to be taking it apart. So let's pop it out of here. Paper's very, the paper for this, excuse me, the paper for this is good and heavy. And I'm not sure, this must have belonged to somebody because they wrote birthdays in it. Oh, here they are. There's another one that's just a full flower, so we want it. And if you get these started, they usually tear pretty good. That's kind of cute with a little bird bath. Let's see. Let's go with that. Oh, where did this? Oh, that's. You guys, I think I'm going crazy. I saw this laying here and I thought, where did that sticker? It's attached to my paper. I mean, really? Let me stick this back in the booklet. I think it will take me forever to use these up. Because look at how many there are. Yeah. So, I would say every journal I make from now to eternity is probably going to have a page of that address book in it, along with a page of all these other books I got laying around here. Who needs to buy more papers when you have as many as I do? Alright, so we have some full-page book images. First thing, if I'm trying to decide what to do with these, first thing comes to my mind is to create some envelopes. So let's just start with that. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the edges off around this, rather than leaving the green edges on. If somehow it's bothering me that I don't have a green edge here, so on this particular one, I'm going to take my green edges off. So let's see here. What the quickest and easiest way to do that is to use your metal ruler, and hopefully this will lay flat with this ruler, and I can just simply tear this. Hopefully. There, once I get it started, it should not be a problem. However, this is wanting to slide on my glass mat, you all, and I don't have a lot of strength today. Oh, here we go. This is the ruler I was looking for. I just started to say I don't have a lot of strength to use that ruler today, and look who appears. A little tiny one that lays right flat against my glass mat. So we definitely, just want to make sure I get that fairly straight here. Oops, it's sliding on me. Try this again. Maybe if I use the cork side down, it might hold on the glass mat. Oh yeah, much better. Just a matter of the metal on the glass, I think. Come on. This is the reality in my craft room. You all know that. We just figure out how to do it to make it work and create what we want to create. Can't get it torn, which I'm not doing a very good job. Guess what we're going to do? I'm going to come in with, I don't have my paper cutter handy. I'm going to come in with my scissors, and I am just going to cut it to the best of my little cutting abilities here. If it's not perfect, it's a junk journal, right? So let's just give it a wee little funky edge around the flowers. And we're going to turn it into an envelope. It would allow for extra journal writing, and when you're cutting pages like this, if you're not a straight cutter, I have a pair of decal edge scissors, and that would probably be an option here. Then you don't have to worry about it being exact. And I'm just going to kind of randomly cut here and just kind of give it a crooked edge so it doesn't, my crooked edges aren't quite as obvious. So I'm just giving it its own crooked edges. And I know you're supposed to move the paper, but when I'm doing this, it's easier for me to move my scissors. And the part that hangs over the picture part, I'm just trimming it as well. I don't worry too much about it because it's just a little envelope. Okay, so now we have this piece with some writing on the back, but it doesn't matter, because you can come along with whatever you might happen to have handy. For example, something like these that I used the other day. The whole inside doesn't even need to be covered. You could, how do we want to do this? The other option is to put a larger piece on the back here. Let's see, I did bring along a lot of scraps because I didn't plan on doing that. So let me see what's on my desk. I have a piece of this green paper which would look really cool back here. So let's just see how wide we need it to be and how long we need it to be. And I'll cut myself a piece off the back of this that I was using for stamping. So, you know, really, you just, sometimes when I'm creating, I just grab whatever's available. Why not? I mean, it's the only way to use up your stash, right? Just grab what you have available on your desk. Trying to fold that fairly straight so when I tear it, it won't be way off. And let's see where we want to go here. Let's flip it upside down so I can nick it with some scissors and get this out of my way. There we go. Okay. Now I'm ready. Take me forever to just get ready to craft today, huh? So, I hope everybody's getting in your craft rooms and creating on these rainy days we have now and then. Seems like our weather is very schizophrenic here in the Ohio Valley, which isn't too unusual for us. I'm just going to cut through both pieces of this and now all of this, and then I'll tear my end off of one piece rather than trying to tear it all at once. Again, I'm not worrying about it being perfectly straight because it's going to line the inside of an envelope. And it also, oh, there we go, this side's not inked. I was going to say, and it also has a little ink, but no, it doesn't. So let's get rid of that little piece. Oh, there's a clear butterfly sticker piece. You probably couldn't see it very well, but I could. And once you do these envelopes, really a stamp or a label or something like that, a postage stamp, label, a little embellishment of some kind, and that's really all you need to do. You don't need to spend a lot of time decorating it up. And that's going to be perfect. So let's just score this down through here so I have a good piece to tear. If you're not good at holding the ruler in place, get your fold in there and really use your bone folder or your fingernail or something to really get that pushed down on there. And then once you have a real good crease, usually your paper will tear right around that, right down that crease. The little spot that did not tear, I'm just simply going to take my scissors and snip, snip, and it'll be gone. Well, follow the line, Miriam, not the tear. There we go. So, I got that. And because I love to ink everything I do, I'm going to ink around this and put her down in here. And we're going to make a little envelope-like writing spot that can be stuck in a journal. The size of it is lovely because it's just a size you can almost put in any size journal. We don't need this piece, so let's get that out of there. And this is the one I cut. You could use your Deco scissors on this. I don't have them, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put some ink around it, get my corners good and inky. And I'm covering that up so it really doesn't matter. Ink on the back of this so it'll end up a little bit on my paper. And just kind of ink my edges. So it really doesn't matter. You do what you like. And if you don't like it, you do you, boo. As the saying goes. All a matter of preference. You do not have to do everything you see on the TV to make a junk journal. These are just ideas to inspire you to come up with your own things. You can watch my videos or any other creators' videos, and see how they do things, and you'll get ideas to do similar things. So really makes no difference. And I'm just going to put this down on the back of here with my glue stick. And I am not a fast maker, so it's not like we're going to get 100,000 projects done today anyway. And if I need to edit out some boring spots of inking or things as I move along here, yeah, I'll do you a favor in doing that if I can. Depending on how long my video ends up being, that's what I'll do. And just make sure I get glue on all of this. It doesn't, in all honesty, you can use any glue stick you want. The important thing is when you put your papers together, use a bone folder or something, a credit card. Just really burnish those down and scrape the paper or whatever you want to call it so that you can be sure it's going to be down there. And it probably won't matter unless you have a really crappy glue stick what kind of glue stick you use if you're burnishing them down. Eventually, yeah, it might pop up, but probably at a time when I will no longer be around to know about it, so it won't really matter, right? Okay, so I'm just going to try, I'm not good at centering things here either, so let's just try to lay that fairly decently straight. Get that little gob of glue there. I think it was glue, something. Stuck to my thumb now, so it's hard to tell. Ooh, wipe it on my, yeah, I wiped it on my clothes. Oh well. I'll get it when I'm done filming. Oops, sorry, if I bumped the camera there. For some reason, my glasses caught the camera today. Must not be in the same space that I usually have it. Oh, looky there. We went too far up to the top here, but it's not going to matter because this is going to be the bottom of our envelope. So, you can look at this, decide how you'd want to do it. It doesn't matter to me, so I'm simply going to fold this up like this. And do I want, no, I'm okay with that. You can't, yeah, you can see it. Okay. Okay. I'll trim it just a hair or two here. No, I'm not going to. I change my mind like I change my clothes sometimes. I'm going to just ink. Inky inky, you can just barely see it. So yeah, I might take a little nip off there. But I wanted to ink first, see what covered and what didn't. And yeah, it's still sticking up there, so we'll give it a little trimmy trim. Watching the video Sophie did, I watched it yesterday. I don't know when it was posted. I don't know. But she made a comment, wouldn't it be nice if we could craft to music? Yes, Sophie, I agree. That would be wonderful. So now we have this, and we're just simply going to fold this part down. And now we have a little hidden journaling envelope. There you go. Simple as that. And I'm sure I have something, a label or something that I can glue on here with enough substance to hold that in place. So let's see, that's scrap. So I'm not going to dig through you. You are scrap. Here are some labels. So let's see what we have. It's got a little bit of strength that we can use for a closure. I have that, but that's too large. It's kind of big and it doesn't really go. So let's just see what we can come up with here. I have something like this. Nope, that's a sticker. We want something with more substance, don't we? Oh, I have this. That would work. Here, we could... Oh, is that supposed to be glued on that? I don't know, but it is. So we won't use you. I have... Oh, here we go. How about a hello? Yes, perfect. So I'm going to use my white glue that I did not put in my little glue thing yet, so it might take a minute to get the glue flowing. Lay my glue stick up here a ways and see if we can get the glue flowing. And I'm only going to put glue on the bottom half of my hello. Hopefully it comes right out. And do I need... I'm going to go ahead and ink these edges just because they do have a papery look to the edges. And I just think it kind of, when you ink the edges or rub your ink along the edges, it just kind of makes things look a little more on the professional side. Alright, there's the top of hello. So we want to ink just this part here so that when we put it down, this can be folded into it. So let's do that. And this would be the kind of envelope you can just put in a pocket or clip it to a page or something along that line, whatever you would choose to do to add it to your journal. You can glue it down if you want to. I wouldn't, just because I like the beautiful image that you end up with on the back, which is flowers. I like that. Okay. And I don't, I really don't mind that some of it's sticking out over the edges because it's just going to be you don't want to rub glue on the top half, Miriam, so rub that off. There we go. And we're going to put this down like this. And I'm going to lay it to the side to let it dry, and that will become our closure to hold our envelope closed when it's in the journal. So let's lay that, and then I will hold it with my finger. This goes in under there. I'll leave it open and lay it to the side for it to dry. Aha, maybe. Let's lay it to the front because it seems to be sliding. If I lay it to the side, I got my journal and it just doesn't want to lay on that side. All right, so let's see what we can do with another piece. Okay, we have this very pretty piece. We can turn this into a pretty pocket. I think it'd make a beautiful side tuck pocket. So that's what we're going to make. We're just going to neatly fold this so it matches at the top and bottom on my edges. Okay, just fold it up. And I think that this is just beautiful to me. And I'm going to go ahead and trim the excess. Better put my glue bottle back. I'll trim the excess around the top. And I believe I have some pretty adhesive ribbon, or adhesive, I don't know what you call it, ribbon, trim. It's actually, I'll show you momentarily. I'm not sure what you'd call it. I picked it up on Amazon. They have several different options for them. I usually go with what I can get without spending the most money often. I'm on limited income, so I try to, budget stuff, and I have ended up with way more craft room stuff than I need, both by people giving it to me, picking it up in yard sales. So I really don't need, most of what I buy on Amazon are good base things like envelopes, card. I like to get index cards colored in white because I think they make wonderful bases for ephemera. So let's just, can't seem to get this piece. I'm going to open it back up just enough to trim right here so it doesn't hang over. I think that'll be good. Make sure we're not hanging over anywhere. And we are not. So let's get our fold in there now. Good. Alrighty. And I'm going to glue down my sides. And this would fit in the journal I'm doing now, because 7 inches is the height of my journal I'm doing now. So I could use this in this journal, or I could even use it in a bigger journal, depending on how I would decorate. So I'm just going to lay my glue down along my green edge and use that as my guide for where I want to put my glue. I'm actually getting a little trail of glue today. Yay! Oops. Now don't mess up your trail there, Miriam, by sticking your glue, something to your glue. Honestly. So, do you ever, when you're in your craft room creating, do you ever leave your craft room and think, man, I was messy today. I gotta go wash my hands, and sometimes you even get it on your clothes. If you're dyeing or something, you gotta be real careful that you don't get it everywhere, huh? I don't know how long we'll be on here today, but we'll just go until I either run out of ideas or time. So I'm just putting these edges down, and I'm using I need to bring the bottle over so you guys can see it. It's a Tonic Studios white PVA glue. It works very well. It doesn't dry on contact, but it works quite well. And now that I've got that glued, I can see some more white edging here. So I'm going to go ahead and trim before I ink. I don't like seeing that. I know the ink would probably cover it, but I'm using Vintage Photo, and I don't know how well it will cover it next to this green that it's next to. All right. Just trimming it. Make sure I don't get the green part. All right, so now we got this piece. So let's just simply ink the edges. So it'll be all ink, and you won't be able to see any of those whites. And we have this now. I just had, I don't know if he'll look right on here or not, you guys, but I just had a Tim Holtz man that I picked up off of my desks. So is that too much for him to be? He looks kind of out of place, but you know what? I think I like him. He could be buying these things for his sweetheart, right? Yeah, I think I like it. Let's see if we can get a larger label to kind of lay here with him of some kind. I want that. Yeah, you could be an option. You could be an option. You. What are you? You're blue. Don't want you. You all can see what I'm going through, huh? Let's see what else I've got here. Some more of these big thingies. So let's just yank some of these out here, because I think they would probably work for this fairly good. Ooh, what are you? Ooh, looky there. I think that's it. That wasn't hard to decide, was it? There's a green. I like the green backgrounds. So let's see if I have something smaller label-ish that has green. That says Public Merits. I do have some numbers. Oh, there's one that's like a brownish, I don't know, I guess it is brown, but it looked brownish green to me in the box. Okay, so let's see what we got here. What are you? Ah, plant collection. Okay. And I think I'm okay with that covering some things up. We can cover up those jewels there, and then all we see is, oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I like. And do we want a number here? Give him a number of some kind? See 125? Right there? 215? Sure. Why not? Let's do that. So I'm going to grab my glue stick to put down my larger piece. Just trying to use up what I have available. So the decoration and how you decorate things is really to your own taste. If you like cutesy little animals and hearts and flowers and butterflies, then by all means use them. And I do cutesy at times. I kind of, good. My style's more of an eclectic kind of style. I like to use what I've got. Cutesy's good sometimes. And sometimes I just want to try something grungy or different. So let's make sure we get this under him good, because I'm going to put him right on top of where that paper edge is. So I want to make sure that I get this in the right place. It does have glue down. I could pull it up, but sometimes when you pull them up from a glue stick, you'll pull paper with it, which I don't want to do. So I'm trying to make sure that is aligned with the green line, and it pretty much is. There we go. And then our Mr. can go right here, and he's bringing roses to his lovely fiance. Doesn't he look nervous, like he's going to ask her to marry him or something? Look at that face. Never quite thought of this dude from Tim Holtz in that way, but hey. Oh, he didn't. Probably wouldn't have mattered, that pink piece, but I do want to ink this little brown number here before I put it down. Straighten up the trimming. Apparently I didn't fussy cut it too well, and I'm going to go ahead and take my corners off here just barely. Just give it a different look around the edges. There we go. Get those little pieces out of there. Run you across the glue stick. I think I'm even going to use the glue stick on my Tim Holtz dude. Let's put that right there. I'm not sure how exactly that's going to come out once I get him down, but we'll see. Let's just cover this dude with glue stick and stick it down. Trying to use up my glue sticks. And these ephemera pieces are going in my own journal. So worst case scenario, I have to go back and reinforce it. Okay, I will, but not unless I absolutely have to. So he's going to go here like this. So just barely, oops, I put the number too close to him. I wonder if I can I possibly pull it out? Yes, I can. So we'll bring you out there, and let's make you even with the side of the green label. Perfect. Then we put this dude over here, and so that all it's showing is 215, which is the way we had it before. Yes, there we go. And you know, hey, we got it. You now have a side tuck here. You could punch a little hole there if you wanted. I will not likely, because I do like that green trim around there. However, I'm going to see if I have one of my little tiny tabs or something that I could put on the edge here as a tab. So let me do some more exploring in my little tubs. All right, so I have some ephemera pieces here, or tab pieces here. This has a different number on it, but I don't know. Nope. Ooh, here is a... Ooh, I like that. We're going to use the stripe side. Just because I like it. And that's what you do when you're making your own junk journals. You do something because you like it, right? That's why you do it. Or you wouldn't do it. Why make a journal that you're not going to like? You'll not have any fun making it ever, and that's the whole point, is to have fun doing these, right? I'm going to use the other side of this, so let me flip it. Yeah, has more green, less brown, and I like that. But I do like the stripes on this. I think it's just super cool. I'm not going to today, but you could always come back in, add something else to this tab. I have a video coming up where I'm going to show you how to do a different type of tag. Oops, we got to get this side too. So stay tuned for that. That'll be exciting. So where do we want the tab? Do we want it, if I lay it down here? Here? Or here? Here. There's nothing up here. That's where we want it. So we'll put down one side on the front here, and I like to kind of put my edge right along that little bottom of that curve on my tab. And then I'm not putting it over the whole thing because I don't want to close off my pockets. I'm going to fold it into my pocket, and I'll have to bring it down some. Bring it down as far as I need to for that tab to fit there. There we go. It still will go there. And I'm trying to line that line up there with that end of that green, because I think that'll work. Yep, there we go. So we have that. He is done. So we've done 2 pieces now. So don't know what happened to my first piece. Where did you go? Oh, where did it go? Oh, up here. You guys are probably yelling, it's at the top, it's at the top, it's at the top. Okay, got a couple more here that are still torn. So let's see. Here's one that's kind of elongated. So first thing that came to my mind is like a coin envelope. So we're going to DIY a coin envelope out of this piece. And before I get started, I want to even up this edge so it'll be easier for me to glue it together. So glue enough that it's not going to be too skinny. Just cut off the rough parts. Again, as straight as possible, but it doesn't have to be perfect. You can still, fold it together and glue it. And I am going to fold this in half almost to my green line. I want to save some that I can turn over and create the envelope. I don't want to do it and glue in the center, because if I do, I'll show you what I'll cut off that beautiful vase of flowers there, and I'd like it to be the front of my coin envelope. So we're going to just simply fold this over this edge. Okay. And I'm not going to glue it yet. I'm just, making the concept of our envelope here. Trying to fold it over as straight as possible here. There we go. And fold that down and get it pushed down good. I need to, nope, I don't need to trim any edges off, nothing folded over with it. I don't want, extra layers of paper in there that aren't necessary. You could either leave this as a long coin envelope, or you could make it a shorter one. Now, I'm going to just fold the bottom up where I would like that to be for my bottom. And then I don't want to glue yet. I'm just folding it up because I'm going to get rid of some of the extra paper down here on the bottom. So let's do this. Okay. And then I'm going to fold this back out. Okay. So far you're with me? We folded it in half, folded this over, and I folded this up. And then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to miter these 2 edges. I think it's easier to do that than to miter them after I've cut out this. And then I'm going to fold this piece down kind of the other way a little bit. And I'm just simply going to cut this excess out of here. And I try to cut above the fold in my paper so that it folds easier. So, it won't matter if you go up, because you've got a 1/2 inch down here that you're going to use to cover that. So it will not matter. Just trying to get all the excess paper so you get a nice clean fold on the bottom. There we go. And then that folds up like that. So let's go ahead and glue these 2 edges now that we have them ready. We'll do the side first. Again, I'm Well, you know, I think I'm going to put some glue down here and probably along the edge of my upper piece too. That way it's good and glued there. That's got a little bit of width, so I want to make sure I get it glued down good here. So let's see, get it all along my edge. So we've been at this for 40 minutes and we're on piece number 3. So I think what I'm going to do is, after I get this one done, we'll do a simple pocket, and that'll be what I'm going to create out of these pages today anyway. And we've used up, what have we used? 1, 2, 3, and our pocket will use up another one, so we will have used up 4 of our gazillion pages. I probably need to do 100 videos, and I could probably, if I used up 4, I don't know, it's probably 200 and some pages, not 400. I'm just being smart aleck, because I usually am. Makes life interesting, you know. I know one thing, it's not a good spot that I have my camera in today because I keep hitting my glasses on it. Alright, so you could have cut that green off the bottom, but nah, it's on the side, so I just went ahead and left it. So we have a really tall pocket thing like here, okay? However, I want to cut some, I like this picture, this nice lady here. I just don't know that I want my envelope this tall. So we could either fold it over like this, or what we're going to do is I'm going to fold it kind of in half, just so I have my 2 sides the same, and I'm just going to kind of do an oval and cut my green off the top. Yeah, I might get my lady picture, but it's not going to matter in the whole scheme of things, because yeah, that's fine. We're just going to fold this down and you'll never know it was there. Okay, I'm going to just fold this part down so I can use this in a journal to hold a tag, a nice tall skinny tag. And what I'm going to do, I know that says January along there, but before I glue it down, I'm going to get my washi tapes. I don't know if I have any wide ones with me, so I might have to. I did say I was going to use some pretty lace, didn't I? So let me grab, or pretty ribbon. And I ended up not using it on that last one, so let me grab it this time. Ooh, and I have a very pretty pink, so let's use the pretty pink. I haven't used it yet. These are, like I said, these are just ones I picked up on Amazon. They're adhesive on the back, so I like using them. And of course they have the off-white one, but I go ahead and get the white. Sometimes I will use white. You could try, I've not tried coffee dyeing this. I don't know if anybody has. You'd probably lose your adhesiveness, but I'll be honest, I'm not sure I trust it completely anyway. We don't need this long of a piece, so let's cut me a piece here about the width of my envelope. We'll cut it right here. And if I have a little teeny snippet, those are the kind of things I save for when I do clusters. I have a little drawer for my little lacy snippets. So, oh, come on, cut it. You're the only scissors I have in my hand, so work, please. There we go. Yeah, that probably would have looked good on the one where I had purple flowers there in the beginning, wouldn't it? I just keep these hanging on the thing that's hanging on the side of my desk, I guess you would say. Alright, so what if we do this across here? Yeah. Oh, that's pretty. I like it. Do you like it? I hope so. I do. And let's see which one we want to cut this at. Where do we, well, let's cut it right here, maybe? Yeah, let's cut it right here. I think I would have cut it exactly right the first time, but like I said, this piece has tape on it too, so I'll just get my tape off there later on and put it in with my snippet laces. And I am going to put some glue stick down on my flat, even though this is adhesive. Let me put my glue on my glue holder. So I'm just going to put the glue stick on the flap itself. You could run your piece across it, but this works for me. And just put this across here. Pretty, pretty. And I am now going to take a little glue stick and glue it down. I won't embellish this one so I can move on to the pocket. Pocket. Alright, so make sure we didn't close our little opening, which we did not. There we go. And then I could come back and I'll embellish that with other things and in other ways. So I do like that. Alright, so we got those three. And let's see, let's see which one do I want. This one. We'll make a pocket with this baby right here. The very simplest thing to do with this piece for a pocket is to simply fold it in half and see what side we like the best. I'm not too worried again about the green edges because, oh yeah, that'll be pretty as a pocket, wouldn't it? And I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to fold this like that and across this bottom and use these edges as the edges of my pocket. So let's get it glued together first for some stability. We really, honestly, I think I'm just going to cut part of this top half off here. There's no sense in folding it over if this is heavy enough for me for a pocket. So there's no need to have that excess bulk in the journal. And this scrap could maybe be used to cover something else because there is a pretty flower on it. See? Part of a pretty flower in the leaf. So it'll fit in somewhere. Lay that there to use as a scrap. And just give me a moment, I gotta get a drink because my mouth's getting dry. There we go. And I'm going to just fold this baby down. So pockets are probably one of the easier things to just make out of a piece of paper. Or as long as it's a heavy duty piece of paper, you can make a whole pocket out of it. And I could probably run these through my die cut. I haven't done that, but I could probably do that. And now I'm going to use my little edges here. I will trim them, of course, but I'm going to fold this over. And I want to make sure I don't have any of my lighter color on the front of my pocket. Great, perfect. So let's do the same on this side. And again, I'm going to just ink around it because I can. Oh, that corner didn't miter very well. Let me take another snip. Snippy, nippy, nippy. Here we go. Perfect. That fixed it. This one okay? Yes. So I'm just going to ink the edges, which you might not see very well anyway. Just because it's dark green. But because I like inking, I'm going to do it. In case any of my white, there's a little bit that might be shown there toward the top. So we'll give that a little ink. It won't be quite so. And again, you can put a punch. I don't always put punches in my pockets because that's an extra step that I don't always have the strength for. Let's see. I have a couple ephemera boxes here. I don't like how this is all. Let's ink this baby and see if it looks better. Kind of white in the center for me. This is from, I'm sure, an old scrap-looking piece of some kind, or card ephemera of some kind. So we're just going to just grunge up the center so it's not quite so whitey white. And somewhere I have, ooh, let's layer that on there. I like it. I'm just going to trim the edges slightly. Oh, perfect. Let's get that down and cover that white that we inked so perfectly. There we go. I like it. Is that all this needs? I really like the bumblebee too, so let's make sure numbers aren't upside down. Ooh, do we want them sideways? Do we want them sideways? I think maybe this wee does. And put the little bumblebee here. Nah, let's do it. I don't like it sideways with the bumblebee. Let's do it like this and put the bumblebee. Let's get it down. And then we'll decide where to put the bumblebee, if we put the bumblebee on it. The more I think about it, I might yank a little butterfly out rather than a bumblebee. I have some outlines of butterflies that I think would be very, very pretty on here. There we go. Yes, I like it. I didn't ink my brown though, did I? Yes, I did. I inked around it. I think my butterfly is just a wee bit on the big side for this. So let's see if we have a smaller butterfly. I said butterfly, I meant bumblebee. I think you just won the prize. Yes, you did. Butterfly will belong. I don't think I went it over the flower, but it'll be probably right in this area. Once I get that backing off, I'm going to glue that one down right there. So we will have that pocket. We made like a coin envelope here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 inches tall. We made a side tuck or a side pocket. And we made our nice little envelope that we can take this piece and tuck it down in the hello once I get it to move and bend correctly. There we go. And then with that, you just tuck right down in there and you have a nice little piece to stick in one of your pockets for your journal. So we got 4 pieces made in the time that I was with you today. I hope you all enjoyed my video and you all come back for the next video. See you in my next video, y'all. Bye bye for now.